Jeannie Seely, the Grammy-winning singer known to many as Miss Country Soul, has been laid to rest in Nashville, Tennessee. She passed away on August 1st, 2025, at the age of 85, following complications from an intestinal infection. The announcement of her death sent a wave of sadness through the country music community, where she was loved as both a performer and a friend. Fans and celebrities came together to give their final goodbye at a memorial service held at the Grand Ole Opry House. The event became both a farewell and a celebration of her long and groundbreaking career. The memorial service was held on August 14, 2025, at the Opry House, a place that symbolized her life in music more than any other stage. It was described as her 5,389th Opry show, a nod to the record number of times she appeared there. Thousands of fans joined with family, friends, and some of the biggest names in country music to honor her. The service was also broadcast on WSM 650 AM and live-streamed online, giving people across the country the chance to share in the moment. Her mother's voice was not part of this farewell, but instead her music and her legacy spoke. Those who performed included Charles Esten, Victoria Shaw, Bobby Tomberlin, Buddy Cannon, and Aaron Enderlin. Each artist sang in her honor, reminding the audience of her love for music and the way she inspired countless people who followed her. The crowd included celebrities who had known her for decades. Dolly Parton, who often called her one of her closest friends, remembered her with words that were both personal and emotional. Dolly said she had lost someone who made her laugh, someone who cried with her, and someone she always admired. Billy Ray Cyrus spoke about her kindness and generosity. Sarah Traherne, the chief executive of the Country Music Association, described her as a trailblazer and a role model. Nancy Jones, the widow of George Jones, said she was a woman who carried the soul of country music in her heart. Alan Jackson attended quietly, away from cameras and reporters. A single photograph shared afterward showed him dressed in black, sitting silently, paying respect without any need for attention. His presence captured the seriousness of the moment and the respect that so many felt for Jeannie Seely. Jeannie was born Marilyn Jean Seely on July 6, 1940, in Titusville, Pennsylvania. She grew up in the nearby town of Townville, where her love for music began early. She performed on local radio and television before moving to California to work in banking. But her passion for music drew her to Nashville, where she became part of the Grand Ole Opry family in 1967. Her breakthrough came with the 1966 single Don't Touch Me, which reached number 2 on the U.S. Hot Country Songs chart. The song also earned her a Grammy Award for Best Country Vocal Performance by a Female, making her one of the most recognized new voices of that time. Her voice carried emotion and strength, and critics began calling her Miss Country Soul. Her style went beyond her music. At the Opry, she became the first woman to regularly host segments of the show. She also challenged traditions by wearing miniskirts, pantsuits, and other outfits that broke with the conservative image many expected from female performers. This boldness opened doors for future generations of women in country music. She wrote songs, produced records, and even published a book. Every part of her career showed determination and independence. Seely became one of the most reliable and beloved performers on the Opry stage. By early 2025, she had performed more than 5,300 times, more than any other artist in the history of the institution. The Opry itself described her as an icon, a figure who was not just part of its history but who helped define it. Even as she grew older, she never stopped working. In May 2025, she revealed she had undergone multiple back surgeries, 2 emergency abdominal surgeries, and an 11-day stay in intensive care. She also battled pneumonia during that time. Yet her message to fans was filled with humor and hope. She wrote that rehabilitation was tough, but each day looked brighter. She joked that she saw a light at the end of the tunnel, and because it was neon, she knew it was hers. These words showed her spirit, even when her health was fragile. Her personal life carried deep challenges as well. Her husband, Gene Ward, passed away in December 2024 after a fight with cancer. She faced her own illnesses shortly after losing him. Yet she continued to perform and to record, determined to keep her connection with fans. That determination was one of the qualities people remembered most when they spoke about her after her death. Dolly Parton was among the first to release a tribute. She said Jeannie was one of her dearest friends and one of the greatest singers in Nashville. She added that their friendship had lasted through laughter and through tears, and that she would miss her deeply. Other tributes poured in from across the music world. Younger artists said she was a mentor who gave advice and encouragement. Fans recalled seeing her at the Opry week after week, always willing to stop for a word or a photograph. Her influence reached beyond the United States. International country fans knew her as a symbol of the Grand Ole Opry and as a performer who carried the traditions of country music into the modern era. Many fans outside the country shared messages online describing how her songs had introduced them to the genre. The service at the Opry House was both sad and joyful. Fans who attended said it felt like one of her shows, filled with music, laughter, and memories. Her friends and colleagues told stories about her humor, her honesty, and her stubborn refusal to give up. Performers who sang in her honor spoke about how she had encouraged them in their own careers. The crowd responded with applause, laughter, and tears, reflecting the many emotions that surrounded her memory. As her music played, people remembered moments from her long career. They thought of "Don't Touch Me," the Grammy-winning song that made her a star. They thought of her hosting the Opry, cracking jokes between songs. They thought of her wearing bold outfits that shocked some but inspired many others. They thought of her resilience, her recovery from accidents and illnesses, and her refusal to slow down. The Opry, in its tribute, said goodbye to Mrs. J, calling her a true icon. The message reflected not only her role as a performer, but also as a member of the Opry family. For decades, she was a regular presence backstage, supporting younger artists and sharing stories of her experiences. She was not just an entertainer, but also a mentor, a friend, and a bridge between generations. Her awards and honors were many. She won a Grammy Award. She earned a star on the Music City Walk of Fame in 2018. Lincoln Memorial University awarded her an honorary Doctor of Arts degree in 2019. These honors recognized her talent, her contribution to music, and her place in cultural history. But perhaps her greatest honor was the loyalty of fans who came to see her perform thousands of times, proving that her music and her personality had lasting power. At the time of her death, she was remembered not only for her voice, but also for her courage. She showed that women in country music could be outspoken, stylish, and strong. She showed that performers could continue working well into their 80s. She showed that humor and resilience could carry someone through illness and loss. Her life was a lesson in persistence, and her death reminded people of the power of authenticity. The memorial ended with music, fitting for a woman whose life was defined by it. As fans and celebrities left the Opry House, many said they felt they had attended not just a farewell, but a continuation of her story. Her music would keep playing. Her influence would keep inspiring. Her memory would keep living in Nashville and beyond. Jeannie Seely's passing marked the end of an era, but her legacy remains. She will always be remembered as the woman who made more Opry appearances than anyone else, as the singer of "Don't Touch Me," as the trailblazer who wore what she wanted on stage, and as the friend who laughed, cried, and encouraged others. Her life was music, and her music lives on.